And we are back with another Halo video. In this video, we're gonna dive deeper into 10 tips and tricks to make you strive as a Halo player. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a pro Halo player at all. I'm just making this video so as to help everyone to get into the game and just improve overall. It's gonna be quite a lengthy video, so timestamps are in the description below and also on the sticker right beneath the video. But wait. If you guys like that video or if that video helped you guys in any way possible, do subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss another video when we put one out. Back to the video. So let's jump right into tip number 1, objective. Alright, let's set it straight. Before we even begin on the even technical things, it's most important to understand the primary objective of the game mode you're playing. In other words, play the bloody objective, guys. If you don't have any friends to play with like me, I'm not a loser, you're gonna play with other random players that most likely won't communicate at all using the mic. The only way to increase your percentage of winning is by playing the game mode itself. Half of the time I'm playing with players that go around mindlessly doing their own challenge, especially that ninja challenge, or just for the sake of kills. Unless the game mode is Slayer, you shouldn't be going out of your way to kill without reason. If it's oddball, play oddball, and if it's control, get the zones tactically. But for now, remember 3 words: play the objective. Tip number 2, being aware of base player traits. It's very important to take note of minor things like shield, ammo and grenades. Being patient and meticulous goes a long way. For example, if your shield is depleted, chill the heck out and let it recharge, my man. Get to a shaded zone and let it reload. With that being said, reloading your shield is vital, but reloading your weapons unnecessarily can cost you the game. That is a bad habit that I have till this day, so don't follow it. If you think you can still get a better hand without reloading, then go for it. Remember that you do have a sidearm as well, and not to mention, you can throw your weapons to the ground and it is definitely faster than swapping weapons. To do that, just hold the swap weapon button on the default controller, it's Y, and it can definitely shave some seconds, so why not try it out on your next match. And last but not least is the grenades. This is very crucial in ranked gameplay as your grenades can reduce the shield of your teammates as well. Use your grenades wisely and do not just lose them both at once. Rookie mistake.
That's a rookie mistake.
Grenades can start and end a duel, so keep them close to your chest. And if you're dying with a group of enemies in front of you, it's always great to throw a last-ditch effort towards them. Tip number 3, sprinting. Sprinting is great to cover ground quickly, but sprinting around corners isn't a good idea. Reduce your sprinting and keep your weapon up. Tactically, you shouldn't be sprinting often in a game unless you have to run away from your enemies or to get to your starting position quickly. Sprinting unnecessarily is not recommended because it creates loud footsteps, and if you wear headphones, which I totally recommend you do, you can hear all the footsteps around you clearly. This is game changing for ranked gameplay or tactical Slayer where minimaps aren't available. Like I mentioned before, you can get to your starting positions quickly by sprinting, but sliding and crouching provides greater speed to get to your starting positions as well. Additionally, I'm sure you guys have heard about the grappling hook and sliding combo, which if you didn't know, can provide you with greater speeds across the map. Other than sprinting, we got tip number 4, crouching and jumping. Speaking of the grappling hook and sliding combo, these movements require crouching and jumping. Crouching and jumping are important buttons and I've seen better players utilize them well. Usually you can engage enemies by surprise from a level ground with corners by jumping. You can ultimately catch your enemies off guard, but it can be detrimental if you do not anticipate your enemy's movement. Use the jump scare technique sparingly as it can be a boon or a bane. So once you get experienced, you can pull in crouching while shooting. Crouching while shooting and moving side to side can force your enemies to move their reticle to get a better shot on your hitbox. And this in turn provides you with the upper hand in a 1v1 situation. The next tip is kind of mentioned in a previous video before, which is adjusting settings. If you guys want to check that video, it will probably be displayed right now on the top right hand corner of this video, but I actually did miss a few things, so stay tuned. So some of the things I missed out was auto clambering. Auto clambering should be turned off as well, so you can pick edges without revealing yourself fully. Again, why I suggest you turn it off is to ensure your weapon is up all the time, as stated in point number 3. I'm pretty sure some of you guys can remember the last time you guys died because of auto clambering and realizing that there's an enemy right in front of you. On top of that, changing the color of the enemy outlines to a brighter color other than red will be advantageous to you. This allows you to spot enemies from miles away, a good thing if you're sniping. Don't get me wrong, the default rate is good, but some people might opt for yellow and pink, so pick your poison. Next is tip number 6, which is abilities. Don't lose the opportunity to use your abilities once you get them. More often than not, enemies drop abilities and we pick it up even without realizing that they're there. So make sure you check your HUD for the abilities you have, and if you have abilities, please use them before you even die. It's also great to know where to get these abilities and turn the tide to your favor. You can do this by pressing the scan button on your controller or keyboard, where it highlights nearby weapons and abilities for you, without the hassle of going on top of each one and looking at the bottom of the screen manually. And also, please read up on what each ability can do. There are numerous videos in YouTube that can teach you guys how to use these abilities efficiently, so check them out. Tip number 7, weapons. Moving on to weapons, they are your tools of destruction, so it's vital to understand each and every one of them, when to use it and how to use it. One example is the most underrated weapon in the game, which is the plasma carbine. Honestly, I hated the plasma carbine a lot. I didn't even bother learning how to use it and its suitability in different ranges. Therefore, my lack of knowledge in the weapon caused me to use it in close quarters combat, which is definitely a bad idea. The plasma carbine is only lethal in mid-range. Using it as a close quarter weapon is disastrous. This is just an example of how weapon knowledge can differentiate an average player to a great player. You can definitely check different weapons out by creating your own bot matches or even through weapon tests. Practicing with bots sounds lame, yeah, but it will definitely help you a lot in the long run, and the knowledge you can gain transfer to live multiplayer matches subconsciously.
30 seconds remaining.
Tip number 8, maps. It's very important to be accustomed to the maps that are made available in Halo Infinite. There are areas that most people aren't really aware of that can ultimately give you the upper hand. For example, not many people realize that you can drop into the middle room in Bazaar through this vent. And also, you can put yourself on top of this platform in streets to get a good vantage point across the left lane. One of the ways you can get accustomed to Halo maps easily is, again, to play with bots alone or with the game mode provided. Oh, one more thing, check out mapgenie.io, I believe that's what the website's called, to check out everything about the maps in Halo. Seriously, everything. They state weapon spawns and oddball spawns as well. Also, there are many tips of each map online on YouTube as well, but let me know if you guys want me to make another video of it in the comment section down below. Tip number 9 is moving as a unit. Unless you're playing with friends that you can communicate with, or if you're using a mic, it's pretty hard to communicate with your teammates, and it's very important that you can stick to your teammates when times get tough. There are some terms that I learned from Rainbow Six Siege, such as roaming and flanking. So basically, roaming is like a lone wolf that moves away from your team and gets your enemies off guard. This requires great cohesion from the team itself, which, if you're like me and don't have enough friends to play with, may be difficult to execute. Therefore, it's only a good idea to stick with your teammates and get the needed win. Also, disperse slightly if you know that an enemy has a power weapon such as a Cinder Shot, as sticking too close will cause your team deaths to spike in an instant. This is detrimental if you play life-dependent games like Slayer. Last but not least, tip number 10, which is practice. I know this is the lamest one I have, I just wanted to make it 10 tips, but this is really important, guys. Most people don't hear me talk about this much, but in my previous points, I did say that it's very important to practice consistently. Run a custom match with bots and practice sniping, jumping from corners, and maybe crouch shooting as well. Sooner or later, these techniques will be second nature to you and you will be a better Halo player in no time. So that's it for the video today. If the video helped you guys or entertain you guys in any way possible, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss another video when we put one out. Do comment your own tactics and tips down below so that we can all help each other out. Keep playing and stay safe. Peace out.